In today's video, I'm going to show you how to solve equations with addition and solve equations with subtraction. Let's look at the addition property of equality. The addition property of equality says that if you add some number to this side of the equation, and you add that same exact number to the other side of the equation, they're still going to be equal. So let's look at this. We know that 3 equals 3. But let's say that we add a 2 to each side. We still have that they are equal. The left side is still equal to the right side because 5 equals 5. With that being said, if A equals B, then A plus C is also equal to B plus C. That's saying if A and B were the 3, and we added a 2 to both of them, 3 plus 2 is still equal to 3 plus 2. But the key to this is that A and B are equal. That means that A and B are both the same exact number. And we know that C in any given problem can only represent one number at a time. So these C's have to be equal. Let's look at the subtraction property of equality. Just like the addition property of equality, it states that if you're given an equation and you have the same number on both sides of the equation, if you subtract one number from this side and you subtract the same exact number from the other side, the left side of the equation is still going to be equal to the right side of the equation. So let's see that with the same numbers. If we are given 3 equals 3, we know this to be true, but let's say we subtract the 2 from both sides. We subtract it from the left side and we subtract it from the right side. We know that 1 is equal to 1. So in terms of variables, that's saying if A equals B again, meaning A and B have to be the same exact number, then A minus C is also equal to B minus C. And remember, A and B are the same exact number. Now let's look at how to use both the addition and subtraction property of equality to solve an equation. Let's say you're given an equation A plus 3 equals 4. Looking at this, we can already see that A has to represent 1 in this problem because 1 plus 3 equals 4. You can't add anything else to 3 and get 4. But let's look at how to solve this using the properties. We know that if we take away the same exact number from both sides of the equation, the left side is still going to be equal to the right side. So let's go ahead and split this equation in half, just to show you the left side and the right side as we do our work. Now, if we take away a 3 from this side and we take away a 3 from that side, both sides are still going to be equal. So we're left over here with A plus 3 minus 3 is 0, and that's still equal to 4 minus 3 is 1. And we know that A plus 0 is just A, based on the addition identity property. So A is equal to 1. Say that you're given D plus 11 equals 20. We know that whatever we do to the left side of the equation, we also have to do to the right side of the equation. So we want D all by itself because we're trying to figure out what that's equal to. So let's take away this 11 And if we take away the 11 from the left side of the equation, we also have to take it away from the right side of the equation. So we're left with d plus 11 minus 11 is 0 is equal to 20 minus 11, which is just 9. And we know that d plus 0 is equal to d, and 9 is just itself, so d equals 9 in this equation. Let's look at an equation that has subtraction. Let's say that I have b minus 5 equals 1. We know right off the bat that 6 minus 5 equals 1, so b has to be 6. But let's look at how we figure that out. Remember, whatever we do to one side of the equation, we have to do the other side of the equation. We need to add 5 to both sides, because b minus 5 is the same thing as b plus a negative 5, and we need to get rid of this negative. So in order to get rid of that negative, we add 5. And if we add 5 to the left side of the equation, we also have to add 5 to the right side of the equation. So b, the negative 5 plus 5 is 0, and that's equal to 1 plus 5, which is 6. b plus 0 is just itself, b, and we have 6, so b equals 6. Now let's say I give you x minus 15 equals 31. We know that we have to get this x all by itself in order to figure out what x is equal to. So, how do we get rid of this 15? This 15 is really subtracted from the x, so in order to get rid of it, we have to add 15 to the left side. So basically, you're just doing the opposite sign. So whatever we do to the left side of the equation, we have to do to the right side of the equation. So a negative 15 or a minus 15 plus 15 is 0. X minus a 0 equals 31 plus 15, which is 46. X minus 0, take 0 away from anything, we know that you're still left with what you originally had. So that's x, and we're left with 46 on this side, so x equals 46. Let's just double check that real quick. So, does 46 minus 15 equal 31? 46 minus 15, 6 minus 5 is 1, 4 minus 1 is 3. So yes, when x is 46, our answer would be 31. So x equals 46 is the solution to our problem. If you remember a couple videos back, we would add the additive inverse of a given variable to get 0. So if you had a and you added a negative a, that equaled 0. But say you started with a negative a, all you would need to do was add a positive a to get 0. And that's the same thing that applies when solving equations. If you have x plus 6 equals 30, in order to get rid of this 6 that's with this x, you add the additive inverse. So we would be adding a negative 6, which is the same thing as taking away 6. And you would do that to both sides. Now say that it was x minus 6 equaled 30. To get rid of this negative 6, we would just add the positive 6 to both sides. So in this instance, the 6's would cancel out to equal 0. And in this instance as well, the 6's would cancel out to equal 0.